Revenge films.
One day, I discovered my childhood friend, let's call her A, got pregnant. She had symptoms of morning sickness when I went to her house. I knew because I saw my sister having the same symptoms last year when she was pregnant. After A's mother found out A was pregnant, she wanted to find the baby's father. Although I frequently hung out with A at her home, A's mother knew it wasn't me. However, no matter how many times A's mother asked her,
"Who is the father?"
A always refused to tell her anything. A and I were in the same class in middle school. Suddenly, she started to miss a lot of school during the last year of middle school. So I always brought her assignments and hangouts from school, and we would talk for a while. I was shocked by the fact that she was pregnant. I wondered if she had other visitors besides me, but I couldn't think of anyone. So I asked her if she was dating someone, but she just shook her head and remained silent. A is introverted and withdrawn. It was unlikely she was in contact with other guys, but it was a fact that she got pregnant. A's mother was a single mother who raised A by herself. A few years ago, A's mother got remarried. A's stepfather had a high position in a large company, but had to live in another city because of a work transfer. So he had an apartment near his work and only came home occasionally. Thanks to him, A and her mother moved into a big house and no longer had to worry about money. A's mother was very concerned about A's pregnancy and often talked to me about it. She didn't think A had a boyfriend because she never had seen anyone other than me coming to find A. But A's mother had to work during the day and I had to go to school. So technically, it's not entirely impossible that A had brought someone home during the day, but it is highly unlikely. A's mother was worried about A but didn't know what to do. A's mother had a condition that made it difficult for her to get pregnant. A was just a middle school student, so I was very shocked when I heard her mother's decision. At the same time, I didn't want to make A more anxious than she already was, so I pretended everything was normal in front of her. One day, I went to A's home again. When I opened the front door, I heard noises from inside the house. I initially thought it was her mother, but as I was taking off my shoes, I realized the noises were from A's room. Then I walked up the stairs to go to her room, and I suddenly heard,
"No, it hurts! Stop it!"
"Silence! You brought this on yourself! Your mother's planning to do a DNA test? Then they'll know I'm the father, so you have to get an abortion!" The man's voice sounded familiar, so I quickly went to her room and kicked the door open. Then I saw A's stepfather beating her. What? What are you doing here?
"Help me! Help me!"
A had bruises on her face and bleeding from her nose. I quickly realized the situation and I flew into a rage. I tackled A's stepfather and started punching him. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" I tried fighting him as hard as possible, but clearly I was no match for him. A's stepfather pushed me away and ran out of the house. "Are you okay, A?"
"My stomach hurts."
Then I saw blood on A's pants. My mind went blank, but I tried my best to remain calm. "Hold on, I'll call an ambulance right now." A was rushed to the hospital. The doctor said she had no critical injuries on her body, but the baby didn't make it. Apparently, the miscarriage was caused by her stepfather's repeated kicking and stepping. He also punched her face when she resisted, which caused bruises on her face. When A's mother arrived at the hospital, she was so startled and couldn't process what had happened. Then she broke down crying. Later, A's mother and I learned what had happened to A from her counseling doctor. Shortly after A's mother remarried, the stepfather started having perverted thoughts about A. A was uncomfortable, but didn't say anything because she thought it might destroy her mother's marriage and happy new life. Her mother worked hard to raise her, so she thought keeping her mouth shut was the best option. A was relieved when her stepfather transferred to another city and started living separately from them, but that relief was short-lived. A's mother had to work until late, so her stepfather started visiting A without telling her mother and sexually assaulted her. That was when A became mentally distressed and began to skip school. She wanted to hide from him, but couldn't because he had keys to every room in the house. And nobody ever suspected him because they were family. Every day was like hell to A. And then she got pregnant. We finally knew why she wouldn't tell us who the father was. A's mother couldn't stop blaming herself after hearing about what A had gone through.
I'm sorry. None of this would have happened if I didn't marry such a horrible man. I'm so sorry, A.
A also blamed herself when she saw her mother crying. After leaving the hospital, A's mother immediately reported A's stepfather to the police. Then she contacted a lawyer. A's mother also went to see her in-laws and told them their son had been abusing his stepdaughter and even gotten her pregnant. The in-laws had no idea their son would do such a thing, so they were shocked as well. They both turned pale and apologized to A's mother over and over.
We're so sorry for the terrible things our son has done. We'll do anything to make it up to A.
Make it up? The police will take care of him once they've found him, and I'm divorcing him.
We're very sorry.
The in-laws contacted his work and family relatives to look for him, so the stepfather could neither go to work nor hide at home. His parents and relatives all went out to find him. They said,
"What kind of monster would do that to his middle school stepdaughter?"
They were all outraged. The stepfather had nowhere to go and soon ran out of cash. One night, he was hit by a truck. The hospital contacted A's mother, so they all went to the hospital. The stepfather didn't die, but the accident left him paralyzed and made it difficult for him to speak. Then the police came and arrested him at the hospital. Because A was a minor and had a miscarriage due to his violent assault, he was charged with multiple felonies. A cried when I told her he had been arrested. She said,
He can't touch me anymore. I'm finally free. I'm so happy.
I couldn't even imagine what she had gone through. The in-laws came to apologize again before A's mother divorced the stepfather. They gave all their money to A as compensation. Of course, they had cut ties with their son, who is already in prison. Even when he gets out of prison in the future, his life won't be the same. All his family had cut ties with him, he won't be able to return to his job, and he'll have no place to stay. He deserves it all. Later, A and her mother moved to a different city and started a new life there. But I've kept in touch with A. Later, I also moved to that city. A was so surprised when she saw me, and I was happy that she looked much better than before. Soon, I decided to confess my feelings to her. When her mother heard about it, she asked me,
She still has PTSD. It might be difficult for her to have a normal relationship. Are you sure you want to be with her?
I was determined, so I replied, Yes, I'm sure. I've always wanted to support her, but I couldn't do that when I was younger. Now I'm grown up, and I'm very confident I can support her in every way. That's why I moved to the city. A's mother cried after I told her that. 10 years later, A finally overcame the trauma and we got married. We are blessed with 3 beautiful kids. I guess her mother didn't have to worry about infertility after all. A used to be introverted and withdrawn when she was younger, but now she's a girl who loves to laugh a lot every day and get angry like any other people would. I don't know where that monster is or what he's doing now. Hope he goes to hell.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.